Zolder in Belgium will host the finals of the 2018 NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series over the weekend of the 20th and 21st of October. The fans flocked to see some wheel-to-wheel action in the finals in 2017. With double championship points available, there'll be plenty of action on track. Who will follow in the footsteps of 2017 champions Tomo Ferrando and Alan Day, and who will lift the championship trophy? Circuit Zolder for the finals of the 2018 NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series, the fourth time that Circuit Zolder has held the finals. It's double points, 2 divisions, 4 races per weekend. In Elite 1 for pro drivers, Luca Lasser is the championship leader, and in Elite 2 for pro and am drivers, it's Guillaume de Flandre that leads the championship. It's beautifully poised, it couldn't be any tighter. In Elite 2, Guillaume de Flandre leads Ulysse Delso by just 2 points, but Florian Venturi isn't far away. And in Elite 1, Luca Lasser, Alan Day, Fred Gabion and Loris Hazemans, all 4 are separated by just 12 points. Remember, it's double points around this 4-kilometre, 2.5-mile circuit. Let's get Maxime Pampel to show us around the lap.
Welcome race fans to Zolder. I'm Maxime Pampel. I'm going to show you a lap around Zolder. So now in the first straight line, hard braking, third gear, through the first left, through the exit of the corner, flat out, brake as light as possible, little brake, third gear, flat out, go, 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 pass the car, squeeze it through, and go to the Bianchi corner, the most important corner, little brake, touch the curb, third gear, flat out now to the second straight line, fourth gear, brake hard under the bridge, 3, 2, it's a Boutsen Ginian chicane, left, right, flat out, let the car roll, over the bridge, under the bridge, the Villeneuve chicane, 3, 2, hard braking, right curb, left curb, very hard, squeeze through, flat out, just lift here a little bit in third gear, let the car roll, over the bridge, flat out, stay in third gear, now brake really late, second gear in the hospital corner, take a little bit of curb, go on the gas pedal, on the curb, go, 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 flat out to the last chicane, stay in third gear, brake a little bit earlier for the good exit, second gear, a little bit of curb, here also, and go flat out for the lap of Zolder.
Hockenheimring last time out, Loris Hazemans won the race on the Saturday after Alan Day had a spin trying to attack for the lead on the final corner. On day number 2 though, he took his 5th win of the year. Luca Lasser leads the championship by just 2 points coming into this weekend from the reigning champion Alan Day. Fred Gabion is just a further 2 points adrift, and just 8 points off that is Loris Hazemans. In the Super Pole session, it was the reigning champion Alan Day that was quickest. Lining up alongside him will be the number 11 car of Stinis Longines, and row 2 of the grid is number 77 for Memphis Racing, Alexander Graf, alongside the number 50 Hendricks Motorsport car of Loris Hazemans. The third row of the grid sees number 3 Fred Gabion line up alongside championship returnee Nicola Rocca, and then row number 4 Luca Lasser, who leads the championship alongside Tomo Ferrando. So they're in neat 2x2 order, heading up towards the start-finish line. The first final of the weekend for Elite 1 is about to get going. Buckle up, everybody. We're about to go green. It looks as though when they head up towards the start-finish line, the lights go out. It's a good start from Alan Day, but Stinis Longines is matching him for pace as they head up towards turn number 1, which is Ulst. And as they head their way through the first left-hander, Stinis Longines braving it out around the outside. That would give him the inside line further back. A little bumping and boring as Koen Wolters heads through the gravel, gathers up the moment at the wheel of the number 24 car, the Belgian superstar. And as they then press on round through turn number 2, up towards Bianchi Bocht, it is Stinis Longines that has taken the lead of the race from Alan Day. This is fantastic stuff. Remember, it is the home NASCAR Grand Prix for Stinis Longines. He has yet to win a race in Elite 1. He's a former Elite 2 champion. He's done plenty of winning in the Elite 2 division, but not as yet has he claimed to win in Elite 1. He leads the race. Alan Day in second place. The Memphis racing car of Alexander Graf, the Chevy, sitting there in third place. They weave their way through the Villeneuve chicane, which provided lots of action at this equivalent race meeting last year, and it looks as though everybody has largely got away with it on the first lap of the race. A little bit of bumping and boring, but they're all still there. That is Jean-Francois Dumoulin taking to the grass on the exit of the Villeneuve chicane. He's here as part of the NASCAR Driver Exchange programme, regular competitor in the Canadian Pinty Series. He is down through the order, competing in both Elite 1 and Elite 2 this weekend at Zolder, so he's a busy chap, to say the least. Race continuing to press on. Stinis Longines still out front and leading. Got a little bit of daylight, actually, between himself and the Toyota from Cal Racing in the hands of reigning champion Alan Day. Alexander Graf, though, in third place. He's under huge pressure. He's got the number 50 Hendricks Ford of Loris Hasemans right behind him. And Fred Gabion, number 3 for RDV competition, is in the mix as well. There goes Koen Wolters. Problems for the number 24 PK Car Sport Chevrolet. He's retiring it by the look of things. That's on the exit of turn number 1. As we go on board with the battle for 3rd and 4th place. This is Loris Hasemans, who we ride on board with. Just listen to the sound of the 5.7 litre, 400 brake horsepower V8. Alexander Graf a little bit sideways, though, through Bianchi Bocht, and that gives Loris Hasemans the run up towards the cleaner chicane. He's on the wrong side, though. Can he do it around the outside of the chicane? Well, he has. Yeah, he's managed to shortcut the chicane there. Alexander Graf 2 wheels in the air as he bounced off the curves. But the job is done as far as Hasemans is concerned. The Dutchman is through and ahead of the Swede, with the Frenchman, Fred Gabion, sitting right behind. And then the light blue car is Luca Lasser as well. Remember, both Fred Gabion, Luca Lasser and the car at the front of this queue, Loris Hasemans, are all in for a shout for the overall championship. They bounce over the curbs through the cleaner chicane once more. The fight is also on for the lead of the race here. Alan Day looking to try and squeeze his way through. Stinis Longines chops across the front of the Israeli's car, having absolutely none of that, and hangs on to still the lead of the race, just snatching the brakes, turning in towards turn number 2. Continues to lead the race. Nicola Rocca with a queue of cars behind him, hits the curbs, bounces over the curbs, the tail end of the car, a good 3 or 4 feet into the air there, but it looks as though the Italian might just have got away with that one, all through the gravel. That's one of the Brax Racing cars. As we ride on board now with Luca Lasser, you can see Fred Gabion is just ahead of him as they flick their way into some of the fast sections of the circuit. They'll be coming up towards the Jochen Rindt box before too much longer. This, of course, is the double former champion, 09 and 010, and Luca Lasser's got a problem. The car locks up and goes straight on rather than turning its way through the tight right-hander. And there clearly must be some sort of issue with that car, because Luca Lasser has had to take to the escape road and rejoins the circuit after Jochen Rindt boxed. That's going to drop the Frenchman down through the order, and now, yeah, Luca Lasser is slowing up on circuit. You can see there's a little bit of cosmetic damage to the front right-hand corner, but that doesn't tell the story. There's clearly a problem with the Michu Motors prepared, Mavi-supported number 33 car, and remember, that is the championship leader. That has big, big implications and turns the championship battle absolutely on its head. Stinis Longines still continues to lead the race. He is still at the wheel of his PK Car Sport Chevy, under pressure from the Toyota of Alan Day, who's not giving up. And now Loris Hasemans is under pressure from Fred Gabion. Remember, Fred is twice a runner-up in this championship. He comes into this weekend lying 3rd in the standings, having lost the lead at Hockenheim, and he's desperate to try and see what he might be able to do. He looks one way, he looks the other. Loris Hasemans just holding on to the middle ground and making sure he gets off the corners nice and cleanly. Dutchman ahead of the Frenchman, fighting for what is 3rd and 4th place overall in the race. But for the moment, there's no way that the RDV competition Toyota Camry in the hands of Fred Gabion can squeeze his way through. He's having another go here, and in fact, he has gone through. Problems now. Now, is that Loris Hasemans? Yes, it is. Loris Hasemans, in the same place as Luca Lasser, has got issues, and his car is also possibly heading in towards retirement as well. That, again, flips the championship table on its head, as now Alan Day looks for the lead of the race. Round the outside at turn number 1 was where Stinis Longines took the lead at the start of the race, and now Alan Day is trying to brave it out and has made it stick through Hurst. He's up the inside as they head up towards Sterrenbach box, which is turn number 2, and Alan Day has squeezed his way through and ahead of Stinis Longines, who was desperate to try and hang on to the lead and was looking to secure his first overall victory in the Elite 1 division. He's now looking to try and re-attack, put the reigning champion, under pressure, in towards the cleaner chicane they'll go. Now they're starting to bounce over the curbs a little bit more, the leading pair. Alan Day leads, Stinis Longines in second position. Look at this fight that's going on further down through the order. This is Pedro Burnett at the wheel of the blue and red Brax Racing number 90 machine that's got a queue of cars right behind him, the next of which is Maxime Pampel, who we did the onboard lap with, and right behind that is the number 73 car. That is Willy Bucena. Willy, a former champion in Elite 2, way back in 2009. There they go, round through Erst, which is turn number 1 once more. Very difficult, but very fast left-hander, but an important one. And as soon as you exit it, you have to move from the far right of the circuit back to the left to take the right-hander at Sterrebach box, which is Observatory Bend. Alan Day over the start-finish line, leading the race, just looking to try and build a bit more daylight between himself and Stinis Longines, both of them being urged on by their respective teams from the pit wall there by the look of things. But Alan Day is now just starting to build the amount of daylight between himself and the rest of the cars that are queuing up behind him. There is another battle that's going on. This is Alexander Graf under pressure from Thomas Ferrando for 4th and 5th position. The Frenchman looking to try and sneak up the inside of the Memphis Racing machine, but looks as though, for the moment, Alexander Graf has stuck his elbows out there, and the Memphis Racing Chevy is just still ahead of the Knauf-supported Ford, the number 37 car, in the hands of the outgoing, remember, Elite 2 champion. Up towards the cleaner chicane they come once more. Chevy ahead of Ford, still the number 77 Chevy sitting there in 4th position in the hands of Alexander Graf. It's been a great debut season for him and the Memphis Racing team, but Thomas Ferrando here has got the jump. He's up the inside, locks the brakes heading in towards the braking area for Boulderbach Box, and it looks as though Alexander Graf may well be able to take the place back on the exit of the corner. Great fights down through the order. This is pure racing. Alan Day still continues to lead the race. He's still stretching the lead advantage between himself and Stinis Longines at his home NASCAR Grand Prix, of course. Let's not forget the Belgian driver who sits there in second place, but it certainly looks as though Alan Day here may well be on course for another victory. That would be victory number 6 of the season, victory number 16 of his NASCAR racing career. The overall number of wins held the record by Ander Villarino, the Spaniard, at 20. Alan Day is even closing in on that record now as well. Through the Villeneuve chicane, he still continues to lead the race. You can see this leading pair have got huge amounts of daylight between themselves and the car in 3rd place, but Alan Day is going to come through and claim the win, and that is going to put him into the lead of the championship heading into tomorrow's final race. Alan Day claims the win from Stinis Longines in 2nd place. 3rd goes the way of Freddie Gabillon, with Alexander Graf in 4th place, Nicolo Rocca in 5th, and Thomas Ferrando completing the top 6. What a start to our racing weekend here at Circuit Zolder. Alan Day will head into the final race of the season tomorrow in Elite 1, leading the championship, and could he become a back-to-back NASCAR Whelen Euro Series champion? So the champagne will fly on the podium, and Alan Day enjoys the moment. In the junior trophy, Nicolo Rocca on his return took the win from 37 Thomas Ferrando and number 9 Gianmarco Ercoli. And in the Challenger Trophy, it was Henry Tuamala that came through to claim the win from Dario Carzo in 2nd place. And 3rd place went to Fabrizio Ametta.
NASCAR has a very long tradition. We've been racing for 70 years. We even recently began to expand internationally. We now race in Canada, Mexico, Europe, obviously, and it's its infancy. It's a very important market for us. The team here does a very wonderful job. We will continue to try to push NASCAR to the other corners of the world.
Hockenheimring in Elite 2 last time out. Ulysse Delso claimed to win in the Saturday's race, but a puncture and a spin into the gravel cost him dear, and Guillaume de Flandre stood atop of the podium in the 2nd of the 2 races at Germany. It also put him into the lead of the championship by just 2 points from Ulysse Delso, and Florian Venturi is not that far away either at the wheel of the number 32 Go Fast Ford. In qualifying, though, it was Guillaume Dumouriez at the wheel of the number 24 PK Carsport machine that qualified on pole position. Alongside him on the grid will be Willy Bucena at number 37, and 3rd on the grid will be number 32 Florian Venturi, the Go Fast Racing Ford. Fourth in the Super Pole session was Felipe Rebello at the wheel of his number 11 PK car sport, Chevrolet Camaro. And the third row of the grid is number 3, Ulysse Delso, lining up alongside the Racing Total Ford of the German driver number 46, Justin Kuntz. So the cars are in neat 2x2 order. The first final of the weekend for Elite 2 is about to go green here at Circuit Zolder. And as they head up towards the start-finish line, door handle to door handle, Guillaume Dumery and Willy Bussen. And actually, I think almost made a little bit of side-to-side contact there. Lights go out. Guillaume Dumery gets the jump at his home NASCAR Grand Prix here in Belgium. Returning to the championship, he missed Tour because the car was involved in an accident. He missed Germany because he's recently become a father. He's back behind the wheel of the car and instantly goes through into the lead of the race. We saw him win in Franciacorta, his first NASCAR win earlier on this season. And he's already, look at the daylight he's building between himself and Willy Bussen, who sits there in second place. Florian Venturi, the ex-single-seater racer, raced to third place in the Formula 4 Championship in France last year. He sits there in third position. Fourth is number 11, Felipe Rebello, at the wheel of the PK Car Sport Chevrolet. And Ulysse Delso, who you ride on board with, is sitting there in fifth. Let's have a look as we go on board. Down through the gears as they come out of the Villeneuve chicane. Willy Bussen leads by the look of things. Florian Venturi is second, and down to third has gone Guillaume Dumery. Now, I didn't see a mistake for Guillaume Dumery. He's coming under pressure from Felipe Rebello, his teammate, and he just moves out of the way. There must be a problem for the car that qualified on pole position, and yet to the left-hand side of the circuit, you can see the number 24 car of Guillaume Dumery is slowing down at his home NASCAR Grand Prix. There's also lots of smoke coming out of the tail end of Guillaume de Flandre's car as well, so he may well be in trouble as well. But for poor old Guillaume Dumery, qualified on pole half a second quicker than anybody else, and surely that car will head down pit road. Willy Bussen leads the race. Florian Venturi in the Ford is second. It's a Ford 1-2 at this stage. The Chevy of Felipe Rebello sitting there in third position, but he's under pressure as they go round through turn 1 at Erst and then start to make their way up towards Starenbach Bucht before they then head through the second of the right-hander, which is Canal Bucht. Willy Bussen, daylight between himself and Florian Venturi in second position. Ulysse Delso, by the look of things, is now up into third place as we go on board with Guillaume de Flandre. Breaks as late as he can, right on the coattails of Justin Kuntz, who can't get through and ahead of Nicola Rocca. So it looks like de Flandre takes the opportunity to squeeze his way through and by the German, and that's important because remember, he leads the championship standings coming into this race by just 2 points, does Guillaume de Flandre, and his main championship rival, which is Ulysse Delso, is ahead. Over the start-finish line now go. Florian Venturi having to defend from Ulysse Delso. Remember, Florian Venturi second on the road, but third in the championship. Third on the road, but second in the championship is Ulysse Delso. So they really have got to stick their elbows out here. Florian Venturi will be desperate to try and keep his main championship rival behind him, because remember, it's double points because it's the finals. Very close heading in towards Boulderbach Bucht as Nicola Rocca is under pressure from Guillaume de Flandre, who's desperate to try and make up ground here. He knows his championship rivals are ahead of him. Willy Bussen heads for pit lane. We gather that's because there's a drive-through penalty, some sort of infringement at the start of the race, so he's had to come in to the pit lane, serve the drive-through penalty, which now means that Florian Venturi is under pressure from Ulysse Delso, no longer for second, but now for the lead of the race as we ride on board with the car in second place. Great soundtrack from that 5.7-litre V8 engine. He can't take the lead from Florian Venturi, and he's going to lose second. Fantastic stuff. Felipe Rebello takes the opportunity to squeeze his way through at Bianchi Bocht. So up into second goes Rebello. The Frenchman, Ulysse Delso, is now down into third place. This is great, great racing. Venturi leads the race, gets the number 11 car of Felipe Rebello in second place. Ulysse Delso down to third, but if he looks in his mirrors, there's cars queuing up behind here, a 5-car battle for the lead of the race, and you can see just how close it is as they come in towards the braking area now for the Jackie X chicane. Sideways into the chicane, Ulysse Delso is turned around, I think, with a little bit of contact there from Felipe Rebello. The Frenchman's facing the wrong way, and this has huge implications for his championship aspirations. Damage to the front end also of the number 77 Memphis racing car of Guillaume de Flandre, so it's getting a little bit robust out there. Rubbing is racing. This is pure racing, and you can see with the sunlight fading now, visibility may well be becoming an issue as well, and that might just have been what caught out Felipe Rebello. Their contact, and off and into the barriers goes Felipe Rebello. That's quite a nasty accident there as he went head-on into the barriers. I think there might have been a little bit of contact as one car changed its position on the start-finish line there, and that may well have been Mattia Dreser, who has now ended up in the gravel trap with Justin Kuntz down at turn number 1 as well. So they're out of the car. Thankfully, both drivers, the Pole and the German, but in the barriers is the Brazilian. And understandably, safety car comes out. We clear it up. We're about to go racing once more again. And let's see who's going to win this first final of the weekend. We go green once more. Good restart from Florian Venturi. Guillaume de Flandre right behind him as they head up towards Erst. Kenko Miura round the outside of the number 7 car of Maxime Pampel. And that puts the Japanese driver potentially into a podium spot here. The Belgium Academy driver, though, Maxime Pampel, braves it out round the outside of Starabach box to try and hang on to the place. And for the moment has been able to do so. But great stuff. It's bunched the pack up again. And Kenko Miura, who's a busy chap, he races in both Elite 1 and in Elite 2. He flies over from Japan to compete in the NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series, was on almost for an overall podium there, but Maxime Pampel, who did the onboard lap with us, had other ideas about that. Florian Venturi leads, just starting to build a little bit of daylight now between himself and Guillaume de Flandre, who's there in 2nd position. Of course, remember, Florian Venturi is 3rd in the championship standings coming into this race, just 20 points off the leader, who is behind him on track, Guillaume de Flandre. And for Ulysse Delceau, that spin, it means that he dropped down through the order. He's now back into 5th place again and starting to close in. You just cannot tell which way this race is going to go. Keep an eye towards that black and white number 3 RDV competition Toyota Camry, because Ulysse Delceau is now starting to put the number 37 car of Willy Bucena under pressure, the Knauf supported Ford. There go the leading pair. There goes Ulysse Delceau, still tucked up behind Willy Bucena currently. Over the start-finish line comes Florian Venturi, looking to try and close in on win number 2 of the season for him. De Flandre 2nd, Maxime Pampel 3rd, Kenko Miura 4th, under pressure from Ulysse Delceau, who looks for the inside line, heading up towards turn number 1. But Kenko Miura having absolutely none of that. Ulysse Delceau will have to sit behind him as they head up towards turn number 2. And off and retirement for 77. That's the championship leader, a bit like Elite 1. Elite 2, we've lost the championship leader. Guillaume de Flandre is out of the race. So we ride on board now with Ulysse Delceau, who's in 4th place, looking to try and attack potential podium finisher Kenko Miura, who's there in 3rd. Brake lights come on and Ulysse Delceau is snuck up the inside, heading in towards the cleaner chicane. That puts him up into 3rd place. Kenko Miura drops down into 4th place. Whilst out front, leading the race and not under pressure at all, is Florian Venturi. The number 32 car leads the race. Maxime Pampel is there in 2nd place. That would be a great result for the Belgian driver, racing for the Belgium team at a Belgian circuit. But it looks as though the car is becoming a bit of a handful in 2nd place. And he's got Ulysse Delceau, the charging Frenchman, right behind him. Up towards the braking area for the Jackie Ick chicane now come. You can see the sun making visibility a real difficult issue here. Through goes Ulysse Delceau and takes the place away. So Delceau now up into 2nd. Pampel down into 3rd place, but there's cars queuing up behind him. Right behind him is the number 2 Toyota of Kenko Miura. Then Tom Bonen as well, the former World Road Cycling champion. Pampel almost touching the pit wall there as he turned in towards Erst, trying to take as wide a line in to try and stay on the coattails of Ulysse Delceau and hang on to that podium spot. But he's coming under pressure from Kenko Miura, who's got up the inside. Yet Kenko Miura goes through the Alex Caffey Racing Toyota, through and ahead of the Belgian driver. And now for Maxime Pampel, he's got another car putting him under pressure, his fellow countryman Tom Bonen, who we've not seen inside the top 6 as yet so far. Tom needs to be careful though. He's got Jules Linster right behind him. The battle's continuing. Pampel turned around there. I think there might have been contact at Boulderback box from Tom Bonen, who just caught the tail end of Maxime Pampel's car. But none of that will worry Florian Venturi, who is on for a win here in the first final of the weekend. His 2nd win of the NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series 2018. He claims the win from Ulysse Delceau, who finished in 2nd place. 3rd place goes the way of Kenko Miura, his 1st overall podium in Elite 2 this season. Gilles Linster was 4th, ahead of Willy Bucena in 5th, and Max Lancer completing the top 6. Let's hear from our race winner.
Yes, I'm happy, but I'm focused tomorrow. It's not finished. The championship is over tomorrow, so I'm focused, full focus for tomorrow, yes.
What do you expect from tomorrow's race?
I don't know, the win. I don't know, I don't will come start, I don't know. So just the first goal is to win the championship, so I'm full.
That win moves Florian Venturi right back into overall championship contention, but the win also meant that he was first home in the Rookie Cup at the wheel of the number 32 car. 2nd in the Rookie Cup was Kenko Miura, and third was Max Lancer. In the Legend Trophy, the win went the way of Jerry de Vert. In second place was Francisco Parli, and third was Dietrich Seersens. In the Lady Cup, it was Ariana Casoli that claimed the win, ahead of Carmen Voigt-Gilles.